Welcome back to the Chaos and Carry-Ons podcast with Stephanie
and Shelby.
Chaos and carry-ons, let's go. Disney dreams in tow, you know. Every flight and every ride. Join the journey, come inside.
So we're going to start off this podcast saying that when you guys are hearing this, we have just returned from California. Mm-hmm. But movie magic, as they say, we're recording this before we left. So I think we'll probably actually be recording either, tomorrow when this is airing?
Yep. And that's when we're going to start the California series that you are all on the edge of your seats waiting for.
Yeah, so that's what I was going to say is expect to hear the California series coming the following week. Mm-hmm. But today, instead of doing our normal chit chat, we're going to do 20 get to know you questions. The two most introverted people are now doing the thing that people hate to do.
Yep. But listen, I don't mind this because I'm sitting in a room by myself right now with the door closed, and I feel like I'm just talking to you on the phone, and this is just 20 questions with my best friend, and I don't feel like there's hundreds of people listening to me right now, so it's like a mental thing. If I picture myself up on a stage, then I'm going to start sweating, and this is not going to go anywhere.
Well, I'll also say that Shelby picked out these questions, and the very first question was making me laugh. But you go ahead and...
Okay, for starters, you sent me the first 2 or 3. And I picked those, and then I found the rest. So the first one makes me laugh because this was actually your question.
Well, I was just saying, figuratively speaking, we could use not this question.
Oh, okay. Well, it made it on the list. You didn't tell me that. Okay.
Now I feel like I'm gonna have to give backstory with it.
You are. That's why I put it on there.
Okay. We can talk about it when we get to it.
I told Jordan this morning or earlier today, I was like, we're doing a 20 question podcast episode. And so I read them off to him, like, so he could hear my answers. And he was like, how are you going to make this a whole podcast episode? This is going to be like 5 minutes long. And I laughed so hard. I was like, do you even know us really? Like, this is not going to be 5 minutes. So this is probably going to be a 40-minute episode per usual.
Well, I was afraid reading this that it was going to be 2 hours long.
No. I'm going to try really hard not to give like the long version of mine.
Okay.
Long
story long.
Yeah. So question number 1, what was your first car? So my first car was a Pontiac Grand Prix. It actually was my mom's, and then she bought a new car and we just had that car still. So when I turned 16, that was my car. And boy, did she go. I have lots of memories in that piece of junk car.
That is hilarious. And I could not picture you in anything but a Nissan.
I know. Well, every car I've owned since then has been Nissan. No, I did drive a Kia once, but every other car has been a Nissan.
So my first car, Shelby's probably internally laughing about this.
Oh, I'm not internally. I'm about to externally laugh at this.
Because she did not know this for a long time. But I did not start driving until right before Harper was born. Like, okay, I was driving. If there's any cops listening to this, just put your hands over your ears. I was driving illegally. But when I finally got my license, it was when I think I was pregnant with Harper. And so my first car, technically, when I finally got my license, then Derek bought me a Kia Sorento. How sad is that?
And you still have it.
I know. Sophia drives it.
Yes.
That's a little known fact about us. We're not car people. I say that we have a Tesla, but we have only bought 3 cars since we've been married, and we have all 3 of those cars. Mm-hmm. So there you go. Well, and they're all black.
You only just got the Tesla, last year? And y'all talked about that for years and years and years before you actually did it.
Okay, well, Derek talked about
Well,
it.
Derek, yeah.
Because it was, you know it was not my car.
Yeah.
But I drive it more
I
than
was
he
going to
does,
say,
so
it
there's
is
that.
your car now. Okay. Question number 2. What is your favorite movie?
I'm very curious to hear what yours is. I'm going to go ahead and say what mine is.
Okay.
How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days.
Stop it right now. So mine,
Is that
I
what you
couldn't
put?
decide. I picked 2. The first one is The
Okay.
Proposal, and the second one
Oh.
is How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days.
It's such a good movie.
I love that movie so much. Like, it was just on TV maybe last week or the week before, and I just was smiling so much the whole time watching it. And I was just like, it just never gets old. I love it so much.
It really doesn't. I do too. The way that what is she like, Ben? Or what is it? Is it Benny
Yep.
or whatever she
Yeah.
calls him? Yeah, that's my favorite.
Um,
Okay.
Number 3, what TV show would you want to be in? And my answer is Big Brother. I want to play Big Brother so bad. Pre-cancer Shelby
forgot-
could have played Big Brother. I'm telling you, I was fit. I could have done it. Now, I wouldn't make it past the first week. But I would
I forgot
love,
that you guys are obsessed with this.
I would love to play on Big Brother. Like, the mental side of it would be my jam. Now, the competitions, like I said, pre-cancer Shelby would have. I want to do Big Brother so bad. I think it would be so much fun.
Okay. If I was in so my first thought was like Friends.
I
wanna
had
be
that
on
on my
TV show.
list too, because if I was picking
Yeah.
like a non-reality, that's what I would pick.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's what I was kind of thinking, like to live in New York.
Mm-hmm.
Can you imagine how many friends did they have? 5?
Mm-hmm.
An adult with 5 friends?
No, not me. The gang's all here.
Gang's all here. Yeah. Okay. Then my next thought was, okay, well, if it wasn't that, then it would be the Pioneer Woman. What? And she could teach me how to cook. That was the next thing that I thought.
That's
So
hilarious.
that would be my next.
So
I listen. I love her recipes.
I know, I do too. That just caught me off guard. That was really funny. I also thought about Gilmore Girls because I love the Stars Hollow, like the whole small town vibe. I love that. Like the fall, but they have so much snow in the winter, and I'm like, no, I'm not about that life. So I didn't choose Gilmore Girls. The next question is, which TV show would you not want to be in?
I feel like this is going to be the same, and probably everybody thinks this, but I thought of The Walking Dead.
Oh, I didn't even think that. And I loved that show
you
when it was
didn't?
on. But you know what I picked?
I could not stand it. What?
I picked Jeopardy.
What?
I don't know. Because I'm like, I would stand up there and look like an idiot.
Well, it's kind of funny that you say that because Nana, that's like been her dream forever, is to play like in a game show like Jeopardy or Wheel of Fortune, or what's the other one?
Wheel of Fortune I could do. I'm telling you, I answer that. Like, my mama Martha was obsessed with Wheel of Fortune, and she would call mom and be like, are you watching? Like, what's the answer? Like, they would try to do it before the people. Like, I really like Wheel of Fortune, but that's more of like, you know, that's more like on my intelligence level than Jeopardy.
This next one is funny. What is the worst sandwich ingredient? Because I really could not think,
Yeah.
because I'm not picky.
Well, I'm not either. It was hard for me. I picked oil and vinegar just because I never add that. Like, if I'm at Publix getting a pub sub, Firehouse, wherever, I never do oil and vinegar, but I will do every other topping on that bar. Like, I'm not picky either when it comes to sandwiches.
I said banana peppers because, see, like, I do oil and vinegar over banana peppers. There's something about the banana peppers that I do not like.
So the next question is, what's one thing you'll never do again? And when I was reading these off to Jordan, he knew exactly what my answer was going to be before I even read the question. So when we went to Sedona a few years ago, we rode in a hot air balloon. We did like the sunrise hot air balloon, and it was amazing. It was like a bucket list thing. It was awesome. But when you have to land, this is something that they don't show you on the movies. You don't see the landing. It's not this gentle little, like, lower to the ground. We came in hot and we came in hard and it hurt so bad. So I would never, I mean, I did it and I do not regret doing it, but I'll never do it again. It was a one and done for me.
When I was this is funny, but when I was thinking of something that I would never do again, I really couldn't think anything. So I was just like, I guess stay at the All-Stars. I'd never do that again. One of the last times that we stayed there was this woman, and I don't know, she was just having a bad day or what was going on, but it was like an older lady, and her son was trying to like calm her down. And I remember Derek saying like that there was so many like chaotic things going on, because you have to think at the All-Stars, a lot of people with children stay there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, but that's just how it is.
Well, yeah.
And
it's the cheapest option for Disney. So
yes. So Derek was like, there was a lot of crying children, and then there was even crying adults. And he's like, we can't come back here. It's not peaceful enough. Mm-hmm. So that's one of like the memories that sticks out about when I think of the All-Stars. It's that like all the kids simultaneously crying in that food court, and then that lady crying too.
Yeah. You don't cry at the Floridian, just saying.
Right.
Unless you're me crying tears of joy.
Yeah, tears of joy.
Okay, so the next one, this one's hilarious, and I can't wait to hear what you say, but what warning label would you give for your life?
What I had wrote down was individuals with high blood pressure shouldn't get on this ride.
It's true, though.
It really is.
So mine is warning. I promise I'm not mad at you. This is just my face. Because, what do they, RBF? Like, legit. Mm-hmm. I mean, if I'm not smiling, I look like I'm mad at the world. And I might be thinking of the best day of my life, but I don't look like it. And that's something that I work on all the time, or try to. But, like, my resting face is just, I look mad. I'm not. I'm probably thinking about unicorns and puppies, but I look like I'm mad.
So the next one, have you completely misunderstood song lyrics? I know that I have. But the only one that came to mind was, and there was like a TikTok on it. It's this guy that was talking about how that T-Pain did a tweet or whatever and said, like, for everybody that thinks it's like you, you know, like Shelby probably knows what I'm talking about. In that generation, it was like, what was the actual words that he told us that he was saying?
I don't remember.
Yeah. That like ruined my whole day. I remember it. It's like even that guy was saying that. We wanted to say ooh wee you. Oh, he was saying and then. He's like, I don't want to say and then. I want to say ooh wee you. That's just what we grew up saying. Anyways, that was the only thing I could think of.
I can't believe I'm putting this out there. And once this is out, it's not coming back. But so maybe 2 or 3 years ago, we're in the car and we're listening to like the Pop 2K on Sirius Radio. Mm-hmm. And Shakira comes on, Hips Don't Lie. Okay, this is like every millennial right now, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So when the guy, I'm not sure who sings that with her, but he's like, what is he? Like Spanish, Hispanic, I don't know what he is. But he has an accent. And he says, I never really knew that she could dance like this. She makes a man want to speak Spanish. Okay? Mm-hmm. Well, yes. I have never in my life sang it that way. I always thought he said, I never really knew she could dance like this. I can't even say it. She makes a man want to shishganish. What shishganish is, I have no idea. But I never thought he was saying she wants to speak Spanish or makes a man want to speak Spanish.
Oh, that's hilarious.
So I was singing this song like to the top of my lungs, and Jordan stops the radio and is like looking at me, and he's like, wait a minute, what did you just say? But if you listen to it now, and I'm going to insert a clip of it, you can hear how one would think shish ganish. And I will sing shish ganish for the rest of my life.
Well, this is somebody too, like, that also cannot understand like English accent.
I have to watch
Ireland.
I have to watch British shows with subtitles because I can't understand.
So I can understand. But you know what I always used to think, that song, I'm blue, dabba dee dabba die. I thought he was saying I'm blue, if I were green I would die. When Derek heard me say that, he lost it. He was like, that's better than what they actually
That's
say.
what I was just thinking, that I actually like that version better. I wish so bad that my friend Hannah was here to tell hers, because I can't remember. It's a Tim McGraw song, and I can't remember what she sang, but it was on the level of Shish Ganesh. It was hilarious, but I'm telling you, I want you to listen to that song when we get done with this, and you'll hear it, and you'll sing it now. From now on, you'll sing Shish Ganesh.
What is it, Yiddish or what?
I don't know. Okay,
Oh, dear.
Moving on. If you woke up to be the last person alive on Earth, what would you do first? Nobody's there, like the door's not going to open. If you go in, like, what are you going to do with all the stuff? So I don't know. It would be very lonely. I hope that never happens to me.
Guess you'd have to go and find a robot or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. Keep you company. Wilson?
Yeah, there you go. What is your best memory so far this year?
That was really, really hard for me.
I have two. I couldn't decide between the two.
But sadly, I was gonna have to go with when it snowed and we were sledding down the hill that day.
Let's also put out there that the day we're recording this, we're still in February, so we haven't had much of our year yet.
No.
Mine was the last visit that I had with my poppy before he passed away. I didn't know that was going to be the last time that I saw him. But, I mean, he was sick at that point, so I knew, chances were high that would be the last time. But we had a very, very good visit, and I'm very glad that I have those memories. And then also, last week, I went to the doctor, and he told me that my most current CT scan showed no signs of cancer. So that, I'm telling you, that feeling, you just can't even describe it. So that's my top two best memories so far this year. And I don't think you can pass either one of those.
No, that does make mine look lame.
Well, I mean, you've also had the flu for the last 3 weeks in a row. So
it's really true.
I mean,
it's really true.
That's a third of the year so far that you've spent with the flu.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I was thinking maybe Mateo's birthday, but then I was like, we didn't even do anything. We had the flu then.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the next question is, what's your biggest regret? And to be honest, I couldn't really think of a biggest regret. But this is what I was thinking. If I had to think like Derek, there was a time, this was years ago because it's going to show how long ago it was, when Derek wanted to put some money either into Sirius XM radio, or he was going to, I want to say maybe pay off the car or something like that. And he paid off the car and did not he thought it was too risky to put that money in there.
Mm.
And now he's like, why did I do that?
That hurts me.
It was when it was first, when it was first coming out, first starting. And he was he really felt like that was going to be the way that radio went, was streaming. And he did not do it.
Yeah, you could have been a millionaire by now.
Well, that's what he says that a lot. But I tell him, we were supposed to live a humble life.
Yeah. Well, I think you actually sent me this meme the other day on Instagram, but I've seen it so many times. I've probably sent it to you 100 times, but it's I hope one day my best friend tells me she's just kidding and she's really a millionaire. Wouldn't that be nice?
It would be nice.
So my biggest regret, the first thing that comes to mind is not having another baby in 2020. Taylor was 2 that year. It was the perfect year to have a baby. Nobody was going anywhere. We were at home. Jordan worked from home more that year than more than he went to work. It was the perfect year to have a baby. The perfect year. But we didn't do it. And I mean, it was just, there was so many unknowns. It was scary. I would have been scared to have a baby that year. But now, like, hindsight's 2020. No pun intended. But that's like one of my biggest regrets is not having another baby then.
We signed adoption papers in 2020, if you remember that.
I do remember that.
And I was trying to talk you into it. And I remember you saying, like, this is the scariest year to adopt a baby. But you know what ended up working out?
Yeah.
They just didn't have water in the hospital for 9 days. But, you know, besides that, it went off without a hitch.
Even if it wouldn't have been pandemic time, something would have happened, though.
I know.
Nothing ever.
Well, it did. They still had Armageddon.
Yeah. Okay. Which celebrity do you wish you could be friends with? Jordan said mine was stupid because he's too liberal, but
Oh.
I'm saying Will Ferrell because I think that would just be a golly gee good time. I think Will Ferrell is hilarious, and I think he would just be so much fun to be friends with. I was just thinking,
I like Jordan's reasoning of why you couldn't be around him.
I mean, you could not be in a good mood, I feel like, with him around, which I don't know, maybe in person, like in real life, he's probably not as funny, but I don't know. I think he's funny.
I don't know. It's funny because I'll be like, I really am not into this, like, celebrity whatever, but then, you know, I'm like all into the celebrity gossip. If I really had to think of somebody that I'm like, yes, I would. See, that's what I'm saying. Like, if people that really knew me, I don't like a lot of, what do you call it? Friends that come with a lot of, I don't want to say baggage, but like,
you better not.
you know what I mean? Like, it's hard.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you get what I'm saying.
I know what you're trying to say, but I can't think of a way to help you say it.
Yes. When it's like you have to
try too hard.
A lot.
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
Yes.
Like,
yeah.
You have to try.
Like, it's like mentally exhausting is a good word to put, like, to be friends with that person because you're always like tiptoeing around them.
Yeah.
So, I would have to just say, like, at this point, probably Justin Baldoni, so I could know what really happened.
Yeah.
Between you and Blake Lively.
Oh, no.
Just for the gossip. Because I really don't want a friend that's going to be high maintenance. There's the word.
You've got too many of those.
Exactly.
Oh, Lord.
What is your least favorite household chore? This is going to surprise you.
Mine is mopping.
For mine.
I can clean all day long. I'll dust. I'll do the windows. I'll do laundry. I'll do the dishes. I'll scrub showers and toilets. But I absolutely hate mopping so bad.
Well, this is it's not really a household chore, but it is a chore and I have to do it all the time. I'm going to say it's cleaning out the car. It drives me nuts because it's like our second home sometimes, you know.
It is annoying.
It is. Especially when you have to take out the car seat and you have to clean that thing out. So that's my least favorite thing. I'd rather mop the floor than clean out my car. I'll say that.
No, I think I'm picking the car. I try to get everything out when we get home. I try. And I'll do good for a few days. And then it's like you said, like that's our second home. Especially because my family lives 2 hours from me. And like on trips that we go down there and come back, it might sit there for 3 days. Because I'm just so exhausted by the time I get home.
Yeah. And the same thing, when you're driving a long way, you accumulate a lot of crumbs. So what is your least favorite social media app? Because I was curious of what you were going to pick.
Facebook.
Really? See, I need that because that's how I have to communicate with the moms about, the school things. So I couldn't pick that.
I'm on Facebook. Don't get me wrong. Like I do, and I log in almost every day, if not every day. I'm on there. But like if I have 5 minutes of alone time and I want to mindlessly scroll social media, Facebook is not my first pick. Instagram or TikTok are like my top two. Instagram usually is what I'm going to first, but TikTok comes in. I mean, it's just hard for me to say that because I can't just spend 5 minutes on TikTok. I just get like sucked in, and then here I am 3 hours later, like, holy cow, the whole day's gone.
So I picked X.
I don't even know what that is.
That's Twitter.
Oh, well, back in my day, it was Twitter with the little blue bird. I didn't know that was
X.
So when did they change it to X?
When Elon took it.
Well, I don't
know how
much.
You don't know this.
I did
not. What were you doing, like fighting cancer over there?
Apparently.
I really don't know. It may have been before that. But
I don't know. I don't know how I missed that. But I haven't had Twitter in years. So
I do have Twitter, X, but I only go on there like when Facebook is down and I want to see people complain about Facebook being down. And I just want to see if it's just me.
That's funny.
But still, I do not like that app. I do get on it sometimes.
We have 6 left. We have 6 left. So
this might actually be like a short episode.
I think it will. What's the worst job you've ever had? Have you ever even had a job?
Yes, and I was trying to think, like I had one in my mind and then I was like, oh, like.
I mean, I know you're a travel agent now, but I was thinking like we've been friends for probably 12 to 14 years.
Well, you forgot. Okay, I'm going to say, well, I did nanny for a while and then like I was.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, and I was a nanny also before I got married.
But I was thinking like, I don't remember you having a job ever or never talking about it.
Okay. Well, this was a job. The worst job that I ever had was selling LuLaRoe.
I forgot about that.
Remember?
Yeah.
Yes. And when I had to lug all those clothes around? Yeah, that's pretty bad.
I forgot about that. So,
yes.
When I was 16, my first real job, I mean, I worked like for my grandparents in the office. I would clean houses, babysit. I don't count any of that. My first real job was Rock City on Lookout Mountain. And I worked like mostly I did like the season passes, taking pictures of people, printing out their cards like for their season passes. Then I sometimes would work like in the fudge kitchen, which that was my favorite. But there was one gift shop that I had to work at occasionally that nobody would ever go in because they only sold like wind chimes and like outdoorsy garden stuff. And they played nature music really loud on this loop the entire day. And it would not go off. It was like, think like spa, like, birds tweeting, water running, but even more annoying than that. It was on repeat. And I seriously would work an entire shift and not see one single soul. Nobody came in that gift shop. And anytime I was scheduled for that, I would rather walk barefoot on Legos, stick a fork in a toaster, I don't know, run my head into a cinder block wall. Like it was awful. So that was literally the first thing that came to mind when I saw this question. It was awful.
I don't know how that would be terrible if nobody was coming in. It seems like it'd be the best job.
The music. It was the music.
Oh, okay. So I felt like the next question was easy. If you were limited to one condiment for the rest of your life, what would it be? How are you not going to choose ranch?
That's exactly what I chose. And I'll tell you why. Because that means you can have salad. You can dip chicken in it. You can dip fries in it. You can eat pizza with it. Like, yes. Jordan said ketchup, but that's literally the only condiment that he eats.
He doesn't eat ranch?
No.
What?
No.
Has he tried it?
Probably.
You know what? We need to do a TikTok series the next time that we're together on Jordan trying new foods. And that's what we're going to call it. Jordan trying new foods. Like he's a child.
Yeah.
And the first thing he's going to try is ranch.
I'm sure he's tried it before.
But maybe his taste buds have changed and maybe he likes it.
Well, I'm going to do
we'll have the kids cheer him on and everything. It'll be great.
We're going to do a TikTok series when we go to California of how many times does Jordan eat Disney chicken and fries?
Yes. Jordan, if you're listening. Oh, it'll be too late. He'll have
we'll already be home by the time he hears this.
He's going to be so annoyed with us by the end of this trip.
The Jordan chicken count is what we'll call it.
Yeah. Because Jordan loves to eat chicken fingers. It's hilarious. That's his favorite food group, I would say.
Mm-hmm. Oh, absolutely. Okay. How late is too late to cancel a plan with someone?
If it's me that you're canceling with, I don't care if it's 5 minutes before and I'm on my way there. I will still be happy.
Mm-hmm.
I can promise you that.
I can agree with that. Like, same. I said 30 minutes prior, but it really just depends on who you have plans with and where you're going. Like, are these people traveling to get to you? That would depend.
Derek's thing about me, and he says this all the time, he's like, Stephanie loves to lounge. She loves to wear loungewear and lounge. And I don't know what that says about me as a person, but I really don't care. I do love to lounge.
Well, I actually was just thinking about that today. I was doing laundry and I was laughing because my pile was all pajamas. Literally the entire pile. I mean, there might have been one shirt, but I homeschool. I work from home. So I don't leave unless I have to. But I love it. I don't hate that at all. I love home.
Yep. Well, I'm like type B, so I don't have to get dressed if I do the school drop off. I can wear a robe. Mm-hmm. And it doesn't bother me. The principal has seen me. Now, let's just be clear. I do get dressed, but then I still put the robe over my clothes. I don't know. It's just in my mind. It makes me feel comfortable, I guess. So he has seen me wearing the robe, and I really don't care. But, this is also my daughter who used to wear a robe, so it's fine.
I forgot about that. The apple doesn't fall far from that tree.
No, it really doesn't. And then the next one, which Disney princess is the most annoying? That was hard for me. But I'm going to say that it was Sleeping Beauty.
Why does she annoy you? What about her annoys you?
I don't know. I feel like that the movie itself is like, they're constantly trying to keep this girl away from the spindle, and she still ends up poking it anyways, Like, I don't know. There's just something about that has always annoyed me, like as a little kid, it annoyed me.
Well, my cousin Hillary, if you're listening to this podcast, just go ahead and skip forward because you're going to be so mad at me. But I'm saying Ariel.
Really?
She annoys me so bad. Her dad just had one rule. Ariel, just stay below the surface. That's all you had to do. She literally, it ended up fine at the end, but look at what all she would have avoided if she just listened to her dad. And that's something that Disney is teaching us and our kids not to listen to parents. And I didn't realize that now until I'm an adult looking back. Like every single Disney movie, they're not listening. Look at Nemo. Look what happened to him.
That's funny.
So,
yeah. What is it? That one? I almost said her, but then I was like, Mirda.
Yeah.
She's like really upset with her mom. Mm-hmm. But the next one, pineapple on pizza, yes or no? I don't eat pineapple on pizza, but it doesn't bother me. If you do that, that's fine.
My sister-in-law, Morgan, is obsessed. Like, this is her favorite. And I did have a piece at Christmas that was like, it was pepperoni pineapple, I think. It wasn't horrible, but I love pineapple, but I just don't feel like it belongs on pizza. I'm sorry. Sorry, Morgan.
Well, the very last question, what's a TV show that you hated but everyone else loved? And the only thing that really came to mind for me was The Walking Dead. Again.
I don't feel like that's a show everyone loved because...
You don't think so?
I don't, because we watched that. Well, me and my brother watched that. We stayed in there. We stuck it out to the very end. My Uncle Patrick, too. I don't know if he made it all the way to the end. But I felt like that show ended because we were probably the only 3 viewers that were still there. But I watched it from beginning to end. And it's so funny because zombies is not my thing. Like, I don't like watching stuff like that. But I don't know what it was about that show. I don't know. I really liked The Walking Dead. And I've actually thought about starting it over and watching it again lately. But
that's hilarious because I could not stand it.
Well, mine was Outlander or Game of Thrones.
I did think about Game of Thrones too, but I didn't watch it enough to say that, like, I watched it enough to hate it. You know what I mean?
We watched maybe 10 minutes of the first episode, and I saw enough butt cracks that I was good.
I remember just watching like 5 minutes of it. And I was like, no, this is not for me.
So we already talked about like the British shows I have to watch with the
Yes.
subtitles on. Both of those, I was like, this is too much. I can't read fast enough to keep up with the subtitles on here. And I don't know, like the Game of Thrones, that time period that's in, it's just not, that's not my favorite. It's not my thing.
Yeah.
I'll watch bloody zombies any day, all day, but I don't know. It's just,
That's where she draws
I draw the line.
Well, if you're listening to this and you've gotten to the end, like and subscribe. No.
Okay, Sophia.
what I want to say is, if there is something specific that you are wanting to know about the California trip, which I'm sure we will post this on the social media, but we have likely not recorded that series, but we are going to start. I'm saying at the time that this is airing, we probably have not started recording, but we probably will within the next few days. So please, 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 if there is something that you want us to talk about specifically, you need to hurry up, and because we're going to try to record while it's fresh on our mind.
We had, so we recorded Hawaii in a series. Granted, it was 18 months after that trip when we recorded it, but we had people saying they wanted to hear more about this, more about that, and we left a lot out. The same with Disney Cruise Line. We've already had people talking about things that we didn't elaborate on. But I mean, we don't want to yap for an hour about something that y'all don't care about. So if we know that you want to hear it, then we can. So for California, like if y'all want to know more about the planning or more about Disneyland or more about things that we're doing outside of Disney, we need to know. So that way we know like what to elaborate on, I guess.
Yeah, what to focus on is a good way to put it. Yeah, because do you want to hear more Disneyland, or do you want to hear more the other things that we're going to do, which I guess we could go ahead and say some of the things that we're going to do, like Universal, the Warner Brothers tour. We have one more thing that we're not going to say yet, but I am going to tease that.
I'm so
before we talk about
excited. Every time I think about it, I get so excited.
But anyways, I hope that you enjoyed this, getting to know you.
I think this was fun. And I love, like, I don't know if you remember back in the day, the Facebook, like, survey things people would do.
Yes.
I love reading those. And I love watching, like, Q&A videos on YouTube. So I was excited about this. I think it was really fun.
Yeah, it was. But are we going to go ahead and wrap it up?
I think so. May your flights be on time and your luggage never lost. But if it's not, that's where the fun begins. Bye. Thanks for listening.
Bye. Thanks for listening.
Pack your dreams, grab your bag. Adventures call, let's zig and zag. From castles tall to ocean waves, magic made for wanderers brave. Theme parks light up the night, starry-eyed in sheer delight. Board the ships, set sail and see endless tales and fantasy. Chaos and carry-ons, let's go. Disney dreams in tow, you know. Every flight and every ride, join the journey, come inside. From Mickey ears to Dole Whip tree, pixie dust beneath our feet. Through the lands and sea we roam, feel the wonder, feel at home. From rope drop to the fireworks show, lose yourself in the joyful glow. Cruising waters, feeling free, every twist's a memory. Chaos and carry-ons, let's go. Disney dreams in tow, you know. Every flight and every ride, join the journey, come inside.